My boyfriend and I are in a popular national drama. We have been in love for 7 years outside the drama, but we have not got married. From the age of 22 to 29, I went from a popular idol to a failed actress. He went from an unknown dragon set group to a popular new movie emperor in the film industry. He and Hansu were photographed on vacation in Hawaii, where I wanted to go most. At the press conference, someone asked a question, and I only replied lightly, "Interesting." Unexpectedly, Hansu seemed to be crazy and joined hands with me to send her boyfriend to prison. Point 1. Just after the performance, I wiped the sweat on my forehead. While the agent was not paying attention, I slipped sideways into the dressing room and picked up my mobile phone to check the message I gave to my boyfriend 3 hours ago. Unexpectedly, there was no reply. I can't count how many times, but the message I sent seems to have been ignored, like a stone sinking into the sea, and there is no response. I have been in a relationship with my boyfriend for 7 years. From the age of 22 to 29, we were not married. 7 years ago, I was a popular female idol in the entertainment industry. What's more, at the age of 22, she starred in the female lead of the national hit drama. For a while, the scenery was infinite. She and her boyfriend Loo Jun met in that drama. In the play, we missed each other because of secret love. Outside the play, we joined hands for 7 years, which attracted CP fans to shout happiness. In 7 years, with the help of my reputation, he walked his career in acting extremely smoothly. From a dragon set group performance to a new movie emperor, he rose step by step. On the other hand, from a popular female idol to a failed actress, the only thing my resume can add is my age and a boyfriend who has been in love with me for 7 years. Everyone thought we were going to get married, at least after he won the movie Emperor. But looking at the video of him flirting with Hansu in Hawaii on my mobile phone, I felt like falling into an ice cave for a moment. Hansu is a second-tier beauty actress in the entertainment industry. She often publishes videos posted with beautiful idols in major media, marketing to love women, and there are also rumors that she is Ji Lao. She once published her mobile phone screensaver on the internet hates men. Come to think of it, although we are the same actors, there is no competitive scene. I mainly focus on the power school, and she mainly focus on the idol school, which is not on the same track at all. I didn't expect to bump into my boyfriend with such a person. But looking at the video of the two flirting in Hawaii in the mobile phone regardless of the public's eyes, I only felt ridiculous. For 7 years my boyfriend, who has never accompanied me to Hawaii, mixed oil in Hawaiian honey with another woman. 2. The breaking news of Company A is the fiercest and the most true. In addition, it was Friday, and the love affair between Hansu and Loo Jun was suddenly rushed to the hot search headlines after catching up with the group of fish-touching workers. Hashtag Hansu and Loo Jun are on vacation in Hawaii. Hashtag Loo Jun cheated on Hansu. Hashtag Li Hui, Hansu and Loo Jun are in love triangle. For a while, the discussion of the two people on the internet reached its peak. After all, since ancient times, people who know everything have been the object of human criticism. Even if you are a straight woman, the character setting is not good. Netizens comment below. Hansu and Loo Jun. Then what is Li Huishan? What's wrong with Hansu? On the surface, she is dressed as a woman, but she hates men. Behind the back, she is in love with an ugly man. Enough that man like Zhu Beiji. Hansu is just a beautiful little girl. I don't know how many female notebooks are going to change their avatars today. In the backstage of the business performance, I hid in the dressing room and smiled bitterly at the speeches of netizens. My heart has long lost the feeling of anger and unbelievable at the beginning, and some are just calm and indifferent. It turns out that 7 years will really wear out people's love. From the messages that can't be replied for a day, from the rejection and indifference again and again, I should have known that we have only been together for 7 years, not in love for 7 years. When I came out of the backstage, countless reporters had already heard the news and gathered at the front desk of the business performance, which caused quite a sensation. The reporter present handed the microphone to my mouth. "Excuse me, have you broken up with Loo Jun? Do you know that Hansu and Loo Jun went to Hawaii for a vacation?" Looking at the microphone pushed in front of me, I pulled the corners of my mouth and wanted to curse, but I swallowed it back, only maintaining the last decency. I took a deep breath gently. "Mr. Loo Jun and I broke up 2 days ago. Thank you for your concern. I don't know about the relationship between him and Hansu." As soon as this sentence came out, everyone present understood. Yes, we broke up 2 days ago, and today he is dating his new girlfriend in Hawaii. Is it a love affair or a seamless connection? The interview was presented live. My reply stirred up thousands of waves in the live broadcast room, and netizens left messages one after another. 2 days after breaking up, he was dating a new girlfriend. Who would believe that they didn't know before? Has my daughter been disappointed in this way for 7 years? Is this a dream that Loo Jun had? 2 beautiful women are fighting for him. No, such an ugly man, you are really hungry. It's not to blame the vicious words of netizens, but Loo Jun's appearance is really not outstanding, and even hindered him to become a movie emperor. When I got home, I looked at the family where the two of them had lived together for 7 years. and my heart was full of DSOM. Loo Jun hasn't completely taken away his things. He probably doesn't want them. 3. At the beginning, the person who brought a suitcase to the interview in order to get an audition character has become a popular new movie emperor in the film industry. How can he still care about the rise of resources and status? With my 7 years of love, he didn't care about it for a long time. I sat quietly on the sofa and drank a glass of soju. There is only a bitter and astringent taste left in the mouth. 7 years ago, Loo Jun and I met at the selection site of the national hit drama. A teenager wore a washed white shirt and dragged a suitcase to the selection site. His unstrupting appearance is really out of the way with the handsome men and women at the scene. He auditioned over and over again in the audition and was finally decided. The teenager won the audition role and thanked the director 100 times. That persistence surprised me. In the play, he secretly fell in love with the second male lead who couldn't express his love. In the end, he missed me as the heroine, which made a large number of CP fans sad. The love he has never got is unforgettable for the audience after all. The unrequittable love made this drama popular all over the world in an instant. On the set, Loo Jun's gentleness and care gradually made me fall. He would look like when the weather was cold. Inadvertently handed over the warm baby. He would hold me high with one hand when I was resting, and when the reporter was interviewing a group photo, he would pass another person and touch my head. There is always an unspeakable ambiguity between us. Because of his goodwill and special treatment, the number of CP videos about the two of us on the internet has exceeded 10,000 clicks. Love difference in weight. I thought we loved each other. As an idol, I am not allowed to fall in love. What's more, my career is in the sky, even if the CP fans at that time were very excited. But I want this love to be special. I don't hesitate to offend the agency and fans, and I'm willing to pay a high amount of compensation to officially declare my relationship in front of the public. But now it seems that I am the only one in this relationship. 4. My memories were interrupted by the rapid bell, which was particularly harsh in the dark room. The faint light of the mobile phone only illuminated the corners of the room and the tears on my face. Looking at the caller ID, it's my ex-boyfriend who doesn't reply no matter what. My hand shook slightly and whispered, "What's the matter? Don't go to your new girlfriend to come to me, and don't eat in the bowl and look at the pot again." I have always treated people kindly and simply in my circle. It's the first time I've said such sharp words. As if he didn't expect that I would speak unkindly, the person on the other end of the phone was silent for a few seconds. "Don't do this, didn't we break up peacefully?" I listened to the answer on the other end of the phone, and my tears had already dried up. Yes, he broke up peacefully with him unilaterally, coldly and violently. He broke up with me in order to give his new girlfriend's birthday. "Speak if you have something to say." I heard myself say, "Do you know how much trouble your speech just caused? Because of you, Hansu is now a junior. How can she do it in the entertainment industry in the future?" Loo Jun's dissatisfied tone reached my ears through his mobile phone. She was crying. "Come and apologize to her right now." I cleared my throat, calmed down and shouted at my mobile phone, "Get out!" Then hang up the phone immediately. Then I turned to the photo of going to Hawaii with my friends a long time ago. The photo was taken when I went with my friends. I went there 11 times, but I didn't go there with the person I liked. With words, it was really interesting. Posted on Weibo. After all, the public opinion favors me. In the eyes of passersby, the 7-year love between me and Loo Jun is the seamless connection of the man. How many people are looking through my own shabby love? Hansu also saw everyone's comments. At a party with 3 knowledge, she gave a response with a picture of a puppy. At that time he chased me, but I didn't like people with a partner, so he broke up. So they broke up not because of me, but he didn't want to be with you anymore. Of course, I won't let my life be like yours. A 7-year fruitless relationship. In short, she is not a junior. This reply is full of yin and yang and provocation, as if to say that my 7 years were abandoned at will because she didn't like people with a partner. Hansu, these words immediately aroused the curses of netizens, and for a moment, overwhelming bad comments on the internet rushed into her Weibo. But she didn't seem to think she was wrong at all. She replied 3 times in a row, each time like crazy, desperately proving that Loo Jun loved her. I didn't have the mood and time to pay attention to this farce, and I didn't want to read the bad comments below anymore. I turned off my mobile phone and began to deal with the script in my hand. I have wasted 7 years. I don't want to waste every minute of the future on others. 5. Although I have tried my best to avoid Loo Jun, it is inevitable to meet him. Discussing the script in the company, when it was my turn to speak, Hansu made a video call. Because of the sudden bell, the speech stopped abruptly, and everyone's eyes gathered on Loo Jun's face. He didn't seem to see it, but took a deep look at me and picked up the video. In the camera, Hansu painted smoky makeup. Even with such a picky makeup, she was still very beautiful. It's not surprising. Hansu's debut was selected by the 3 major agencies under the name of Beauty. Her wild beauty is indeed unique. It hurts so much. So uncomfortable. Won't they rape me online when I die? At the end of the camera, Hansu's crying voice came. She showed her bleeding wrist, and bright red blood flowed from her wrist to the floor, which was particularly shocking. At a glance, Lu Jun's face changed, and he said in a gentle and nervous voice, "Don't do anything stupid. Wait for me, I'll be right there, good boy." The man immediately got up and pushed away the table and chair. The sudden action made the wine glass on the table shake violently, and finally fell to one side. The liquid in the cup splashed, and the red liquid dripped on my chest. The white shirt was dyed with several flowers in an instant, which looked very embarrassing like me at the moment. I sat in the corner and cried, not because my feelings ended, but because I was squeezed to my fingers by the push table, bleeding in pain. In the past, as long as I was hurt a little, I would exchange for a man's heartache. In winter, he was filming in the crew. It took him 3 times to shoot a play. Unexpectedly, he had a fever of 40 degrees. At that time, he was shooting the closing work of the international director. The director, he is famous for his severity, and no matter how big-named the actor is, he has to be respectful under his hands. He slipped out after the killing drama and missed the publicity of the film. As a result, he offended the director and was cut off a lot of shots, but he still stayed in front of my hospital bed all night. I asked him if it was worth it. It was just a small cold. But he just replied, "If it's you, it's worth it. We Huishan should recover as soon as possible. The love that used to be is always hot." He is the male protagonist who is desperate for love, and I am the female number 1 who is loved by love. It's just that at this moment the male protagonist is still so affectionate, and the female protagonist has long changed. My desperately suppressed cry was heard by the boss and the agent. As a colleague in the same company, I naturally know my current situation. The boss hesitated for a moment and said, "Does the protagonist of this production need to be changed?" Of course, what he said was to replace me. After all, Lu Jun is a new movie emperor, and he has no right to replace him. I shook my head resolutely. "No, it's still according to the original casting. Don't worry, I will act." Lu Jun and I were selected by the investor to co-star in a movie, Come a year ago. It was a big production IP. I auditioned several times and prepared for a long time before I was selected as the female lead. The story is about a literary romance film about boys and girls who missed it because of misunderstanding. Many years later, they meet again and get back together. The release evaluation of this film is related to whether my actor's transformation path is successful. This is my last chance. At the age of 29, he is not young. In the entertainment industry, he is already going to enter the acting skills. At this moment, everyone's comfort is very warm. Before I could speak, the door was pushed open by Lu Jun, who had returned. He looked at my red eyes and was surprised for a moment and quickly said, "Why? Don't hold on to the past anymore. We all have to look forward. Besides, she is different from you. She is very important." I looked at his smug face and couldn't help but say, "Enough, who do you think you are? It's worth my search for you. Instead of caring about me, it's better to care about yourself. Is it good to be scolded? Can you still get back the withdrawn endorsement?" Because of this cheating incident, Lu Jun has been contracted by several brands, and the protagonist of the script that was once negotiated has also been replaced. Capital doesn't care who is popular, only who can bring benefits. Of course, the public is not willing to accept artists with bad character. My reaction was like a hedgehog stabbed his heart. He said shamelessly, "Susu cut her wrist. Because of your net violence, you'd better apologize to her with me." He blamed all the faults on me, even if my confrontation with Hansu was caused by him. Why didn't I find that he was so irresponsible in the past? He avoided the heavy and took his own faults at once, but accused me of online violence against others. Evasion, irresponsibility, cold violence. I didn't say anything. I just moved my muscles and bones and stood in front of Lu Jun. He is much taller than me. Then he stretched out his right hand, slapped him in the face. With a snap, the time in the conference room stagnated strangely. The slap used up all my strength and my arms were numb. His head was fanned, light red palm prints appeared on his face, and his left face immediately swelled high. Lu Jun was stunned. In his eyes, I have always been a good girl and a good old man. He looked at me and opened his eyes wide in disbelief. "How dare you hit me? A bad person is a bad person after all. People like you don't deserve to be liked by anyone. From now on, we will write it off." At this moment, I was relieved after all. I tried to keep my tears from flowing down, but it was still salty when it came to my mouth. My fingers were bleeding. It hurt so much that I cried. I looked at his busy running back, and I only felt guilty. Let's not open the scene because of this slap. It's a big loss. That afternoon, Hansu's account was updated with the text. Someone said that he would always be with me. Even if everyone stood opposite me, he would stand behind me. The picture is a photo of her hands holding each other. She deliberately exposed her bandaged arm, and a thick bandage wrapped around her wrist. There are tens of thousands of reviews of the Navy she bought below. Oh my God, it's not worth committing suicide because of a love. Shouldn't the person who abused you on the internet come out and apologize? It's not necessary for a relationship. After all, it's a life. Han Suming only contacted Lu Jun and Li Hui when they had broken up. How can they be considered Xiao-san? The one who is not loved is Xiao-san. All you lost was your love, but Hansu almost lost her life. Hansu replied under Gao Zan's post. Thank you for your concern. I had depression a long time ago, and I have been in the treatment stage in recent years. I accidentally did something stupid today. Please forgive me. The time of Lu Jun and Miss Li Huishan's breakup is not as rumored on the internet. In fact, Lu Jun had proposed to break up peacefully as early as the end of last year. Maybe Li Huishan only agreed a few days ago. If I am misunderstood and abused by everyone, she can feel better. I don't care. In a word, she became a victim from a child. And I changed from a cheated ex-girlfriend to an internet tyrant who couldn't be loved. What's more, the melon-eating masses who don't know the truth are directly in the comment section. For a moment the wind turned around, and the comments began to sneer at me. You're really good at playing tricks. Obviously we broke up a long time ago, but in front of the media they said that they just broke up a few days ago. Isn't this throwing dirty water on us, Susu? You are really good at moral kidnapping and your heart is vicious. If you do this, your reputation will be ruined. The agent called me and complained to me angrily, and I just comforted him calmly. I know very well to people like Lu Jun. He hasn't spoke out in public so far. Hansu can't wait to send him to prison. 6. In the afternoon I made an appointment with a friend in the cafe. The person who came was tall and long-legged, with broad shoulders and narrow waist, and had his own sense temperament. Park Fong is my friend and Lu Jun's mortal enemy. The two almost debuted at the same time. They are all the same in the entertainment industry, which is inevitable to be compared by the audience. But every time, whether it is acting, appearance, or popularity, Park Fong is a crushing victory. The same entertainment industry does not need actors with strong substitutability, so the two never deal with each other. This time, Lu Jun was able to successfully win the movie Emperor only because of Park Feng's health, who has not filmed in the past year. I took out several pieces of evidence collected at hand and handed them to the man. Park Fong crossed his legs and calmly stirred the coffee in his hand. You are so cruel to your ex-boyfriend. If you have to hand in this evidence, he will have to withdraw from the circle. If something else is found, he will not be imprisoned. I was silent for a few seconds and said, women are not cruel and their status is unstable. I used to be so kind that I let him trample on my reputation many times. Park Fong straightened up and said, when are you going to release this news? Of course, when he won a movie Emperor, he could fall more badly from being a popular movie Emperor to a lower-level prisoner and standing high. What the Phoenix man who crawled out of the bottom was most afraid of, was to return to the bottom. Looking back, Lu Jun was most afraid of himself carrying a suitcase to audition at the audition site. That kind of cowardice, inferiority and crampedness are what he never wants to see again. I handed over the bulging black envelope to the man. When I handed it over, the man's finger scratched my palm as if inadvertently. I looked up and saw that Park Feng's fair face was slightly red at the moment, and even his ears were dyed pink. His peach blossom eyes narrowed beautifully, and there was no trace of abstinence around him. The moment I pulled back my arm, he took my hand and said, Hui, think about me? I was a little surprised. I had cooperated with Park Fong several times. He once confessed to me privately, but at that time I was in contact with Lu Jun, so I refused him. The entertainment industry was ups and downs, and I thought he had forgotten about it. He is very cold and reliable in front of outsiders, but he is always slang and frivolous in front of me. I always think he is joking. Seeing that I didn't say anything, Park Fong opened his mouth and rolled his throat a few times, as if he wanted to say something. After waiting for a long time, he finally said lightly, forget it, have a good rest, your eyes are red. I didn't know you until the first day. When I was about to leave, my hand was stuffed with a band-aid, and my little thumb was bleeding again. I casually threw the band-aid on the table. I'm not the kind of person who is casually moved by small things. 7. Maybe I let myself go completely. Since that day I have slept well at night. On the way to the recom set, a passerby blocked my way. I thought it was a fan. As soon as I lowered the window, I was splashed with an unknown liquid. The agent reacted quickly and blocked part of it for me. There is still no, after betraying my feelings for 7 years, I directly sent my boyfriend to prison 39,103. Less liquid splash on me. It's all your fault that caused us to commit suicide by cutting our wrists, you murderer. The swearing sound continued, and the car was already driving away on the road. Is there any mistake? There are still people talking for Xiao San these dates. The agent wiped the liquid off my face and fought for me. I shook my head. It's black or white. This society has long been indistinguishable. This kind of abuse can't hit me. I met Lu Jun at the door of the set. He looked at my embarrassed appearance and his pupils trembled. Why do you look like this? He seemed to forget that we had broken up and subconsciously wiped it for me. It has nothing to do with you. I passed him and turned around to walk to the locker room, but I caught a glimpse of a red figure around the corner. After thinking about it, he turned around and smiled sweetly at Lu Jun. Lu Jun raised his eyebrows. He didn't expect that I would suddenly look good. He was about to open his mouth, but what he faced was my disdainful back. In the locker room, Hansu looked at me angrily. What did you just say to Lu Jun? Do you still want to rekindle your old love with him? Then ask him, why do you ask me? I raised my smile and sat in front of the makeup mirror. Once the seeds of doubt are planted, no matter how few nutrients are, they will take root and germinate. Lu Jun is best at ruojuruoli. He only likes to make verbal promises, but is unwilling to take practical actions. The sense of security as his ex-girlfriend is given by himself, so the two of them have no trust. She couldn't get up because of my breath, and when she saw my embarrassed look, she gloated and said, "Why, it's not good to be splashed with dirty water, does it?" I stopped the action of wiping and said carelessly, "I guess that no one can do this kind of random means except you. Your behavior is as bad as your people. You jump so much, which is nothing more than to prove that Lu Jun loves you. Nothing more than cherishing my 7-year-old girlfriend. I guess so far Lu Jun has not admitted his relationship with you in public, has he? Do you know why?" Looking at Hansu's unbearable and doubtful eyes, I laughed. "Because he also minds that you are a junior, ha ha ha." Xiao San's reputation seemed to nail her to the pillar of shame. Her face was red, and her fingers pointed at me and trembled. Lu Jun is extremely famished with fame. When at the beginning he became popular in my name, but he never joined hands with me in public, just because he was afraid that the outside world would say that he was on the top with my resources. He doesn't want to be a soft-coon man, but when talking about cooperation with investors he mentions my name the most. At this time he naturally doesn't want his other half to be awarded the title of junior. In the entertainment industry, couples are both prosperous and lost. I continued to stab her in the heart. Believe it or not, he can immediately leave the relationship with you in public and say that you are in a hurry to lick him. Desperately show off your love, prove your love and care about love. It is the person who can't be loved the most and afraid of losing love. 8. Lu Jun pushed the door open and saw this Hansu was making a fuss in the room. The cosmetics were swept aside by her, the dressing room was a mess, and her mouth was full of ops. There is no such thing as being a popular star. Lu Jun's face was very gloomy. He couldn't wait to turn around and leave at this moment. Hansu's current appearance as a shrew is really embarrassing. When Hansu saw Lu Jun, he immediately said to him, "I don't want you to participate in this movie. I don't want your heroine to be Li Hui. Can you replace her with the director's speech?" Hansu's voice was full of unreasonable noise. "How can I change this? Stop it, okay?" Lu Jun is exhausted at this moment. Originally, the reputation of the two was like a street mouse. Recently, someone was investigating the bank account of his photography exhibition, and he himself was overwhelmed. Then you give up this play, and as long as you leave, you will prove that you love me. Hansu continued to chatter. Hansu was so excited by me that she tried to get the proof of love in this way. Look, praying for a man's love is the most childish thing in the world. I laughed out loud when I heard this. It is more difficult to ask Lu Jun to give up his hard-earned resources than to kill him. He won't give up the opportunity to make a fire for anyone. What he wants is a ladder to climb up desperately. The incident ended with Hansu leaving the set in anger. "I thought how indestructible your love was." I raised my hand and shook my mobile phone. Lu Jun looked down at his mobile phone, and his face suddenly turned pale. He suddenly got up and tried to snatch the recording in my mobile phone. The recording recorded was the sound of Hansu splashing, rolling and cursing in the dressing room. Made a deal. If you are willing to give up the leading actor of this play, I will give you the recording. I didn't open my mouth in a hurry. How do you choose? That night, I sent a part of this recording anonymously to Hansu. Your boyfriend also knows this recording. I asked him to give up the leading actor of the play come back, so this recording will not be made public. Otherwise, this recording will be posted on the internet at 12 noon tomorrow. Guess what he will choose? Or you can post Lu Jun's scandal on the internet, so that the recording will not be known to the outside world. After sending these, I read the script with peace of mind. I want to see how much they love each other, and are willing to give up their reputation to protect each other. 9. So should my heart be trampled on at will? If you don't love me, why are you entangled with me? Your love is just out of touch. On the set, I cried with tears in my eyes and tears filled my eyes. After saying the last line, it flowed down like a broken pearl. Everyone was impressed by my acting skills and profound lines. This line seems to be a reality. The director's card pulled me back to reality from the play. I raised my hand to wipe away the tears from the corners of my eyes. A few seconds later, there was a warm applause at the scene. Lu Jun looked at me with unclear meaning in his eyes. I actually saw a trace of heartache and trance from his eyes. The agent put his mobile phone in front of me, and Lu Jun's scandal and Hansu's recording were on the hot search almost at the same time. Look, their trust doesn't need me to disintegrate. One is unwilling to give up the identity of the male protagonist for his girlfriend, and one uses the scandal of his boyfriend to cover up his scandal. It's wonderful to bite a dog. I took my mobile phone and found the first hot search.
Almohadilla Hansu recording almohadilla.
Hashtag Lu Jun's photography exhibition was photographed on behalf of others. Hashtag. However, I didn't put Hansu's recording on the internet at all. The file only has a few seconds at the beginning, and the last one is just a song. Therefore, someone specially bought Hansu's hot search. If Hansu's hot search explodes, no one will pay attention to other hot searches. The discussion of the topic has soared wildly. Soon, netizens with good things found the pusher behind the hot search Lu Jun. He was too anxious and selfish. When he saw his scandal on Weibo, he simply bought Hansu, which was at the end of the hot search for the first place. Therefore, he didn't realize that the recording was empty. At the critical moment, he always prioritizes himself, and everyone can be the chips he throws out. The comments below are even a mess. What do you mean? Hansu's recording trend was bought by Lu Jun? But there is nothing in this recording file. Don't you understand? Lu Jun bought Hansu's hot search to cover up his scandal hot search. This guy pretends to be a literary fan all day long. As a result, the photography exhibition is faked by others. In this circle, in addition to the people around him, he dares to buy anyone's hot search. I put down my mobile phone and sent the complete recording to Hansu with, "Look, I said a long time ago that he would break up with you." 10. The shooting during the day was very smooth, and at night it was Lu Jun's scene. I don't know if it was because of the hot search. He frequently NG on the scene and kept walking in the wrong position. The play, which could have been filmed in an hour, was not completed until late at night. The director directly threw away the script in his hand and stood in front of Lu Jun and cursed loudly. "Will you shoot a movie or not? Did you buy the trophy of Baishang Movie Emperor?" The feeling of being lost and getting back, and the feeling of reunion, there should be emotions in your eyes. If you don't know how to shoot, get out of here as soon as possible and make room for other actors. Lu Jun didn't dare to say anything after listening to the insulting words. He just found a deserted corner and smoked angrily. I put down the script I was studying and came to him in a sense of interest. "Why are you so proud that you are laughing at me?" Lu Jun said in a suppressed voice. "Wait, this Baishang Movie Emperor is still mine." He had a tone of ambition. I took over the topic. "Of course it's you. Even if it's not you, I'll ask Grandpa to sue Grandma to give you the trophy." Lu Jun was surprised for a moment and regained his confident appearance. It's not so easy to let the gold owner behind Lu Jun give up on him. But if he is worthless, the good play I arranged for him will be released at the award ceremony. A few months later, the day before the award ceremony, there was a bloody storm on the internet. First, Hansu's private account released many chat records with Lu Jun. According to the chat records, Lu Jun contacted Hansu at the beginning of the year of 2021. The conversation between the two is too explicit, but it can still be seen that Lu Jun first expressed his good impression of Hansu. The chat lasted intermittently for nearly 2 years. Many netizens went to Lu Jun's account to leave messages. "Good man, we cheated together for 7 years and 3 years. The dog man will kill me. In and out of the play, your love can't be touched. It's you who cheated and cheated on you. Isn't it very fun to chat? Why are you so big-mouthed that you haven't responded until now? The senior plastic surgeon doesn't know how to cut your face. How do you have a face to hang 2 people at the same time? Very good, we won't have ugly children again." Lu Jun didn't respond to this from beginning to end. He has always been good at cold violence. I lay on the bed and looked at Hansu's complaints and revelations against Lu Jun and couldn't close my mouth. As soon as I put down my mobile phone, the bell suddenly rang. Caller ID Park phone. At the other end of the phone, Pu Feng's voice sounded with a trace of excitement. "Let me show you a video." In the video, in a dark bar box, Lu Jun grabbed Hansu's shoulder excitedly and shouted, "What are you doing with the chat records? Are you trying to kill me? You bitch." On the other hand, Hansu was not willing to show weakness. He broke away his arm and slapped him. "Lu Jun, are you still a man? Buy my black material to cover up your scandal. Why are you so cowardly?" Lu Jun was not polite and slapped her back. "What are you afraid of? There is nothing in that recording. Don't think I don't know. You lick your face and hook up with me for the resources behind me. It's hard for me to climb to this position today. What's wrong with you sacrificing yourself as my girlfriend? Li Hui can do it, but you can't do it." I turned off my mobile phone and stopped watching that video. The world seemed to be quiet all of a sudden. For a long time, Park Feng's deep voice came from the other end of the phone. "How about it, dog bites dog, are you happy? It's a so-so. Unimportant people can't arouse my emotions anymore." "That's fine." Pu Feng's tone suddenly relaxed. After a long time, he changed the topic again. This time, the award ceremony will be broadcast live, and the selected works of the actors will be released before the award ceremony. This form will be more interesting if there is an emergency at the scene. It will be on the hot search every minute, and there is no opportunity for public relations. As an artist who has been struggling in the entertainment industry for 12 years, he has smelled the hot search, which is simply tailor-made for Lu Jun that day. 11. The day of the award ceremony was very calm. As a candidate for the Baishang Film Emperor, Lu Jun took Hansu on the red carpet. This action has already recognized the relationship between the two to the public. Because of the form of live broadcast, the number of viewers in the whole live broadcast room has reached more than 10 million. In order to attract attention, the organizer specially arranged the three of us at the same table. For a moment, the bullet screen in the live broadcast room brushed the screen. Lu Jun seemed to look at me inadvertently and wanted to say something, but was interrupted by the host on the court. The next moment, the host took out the envelope. Get the heroine of this year's movie, Quinley Huishan. The next second, the highlight of the movie, Come Back, appeared on the big screen. In the play, I cried out and complained that my young lover had betrayed my feelings for many years. The haggard face, the hoarse and depressing voice, and the eyes were full of unbelievable, heartbreaking lines filled the whole award ceremony. The next second, the applause thundered and lasted for 10 minutes. I came back to my senses with tears in my eyes, and I received one blessing after another. The drama of Come Back has become my true picture now. The strong are never afraid of pain, but choose to face it, put it down painfully and face it freely. I went on the stage to receive the trophy and thanked him. Naturally, the host will not miss this opportunity to raise the popularity. Except for thank you. Is there nothing else you want to say? The photographers at the scene were all human spirits, and they immediately aimed the camera at Lu Jun. The figures of the two suddenly appeared on the big screen, and the camera zoomed in and fixed on the hands held by Hansu and Lu Jun. I calmly took over the topic. As you can see, I have been in a love affair for 7 years without results. Some people like me and don't stick to me. But I won't lose the ability of my lover because of this. There is only a lover who is not worth it, and there is no right or wrong. A woman's journey is the sea of stars, riding the wind and breaking the waves, not the love of children. Don't be obsessed with being loved, and don't put your feelings on others. Thank myself for getting out of the sea of suffering. On the big screen, Lu Jun's face was gloomy. In the corner that the camera could not see, the plastic water cup was pinched by him. In the audience below the stage, many women stood up and applauded and cheered for me. Sister, it's awesome. My sister is so handsome. This is what we women should be. Just give the ugly man to Hansu without joking. She loves it very much. The atmosphere at the scene was still high. After I left the stage, the host then announced the next Best Actor award. A loud voice sounded. The winner of this year's film Emperor is Lu Jun. The next second, it was not his film and television works that were played on the big screen, but Lu Jun's money trading scene with those rich people. However, at this time, the award ceremony was very quiet. The discussion of money laundering in the name of the photography exhibition was clearly heard. There was a noise under the stage, and the personnel of the Procuratorate Department of the State Bank of China had crossed the long corridor to the scene. In an instant, the flash flashed like crazy. Lu Jun turned his head and looked at me without panic. Do you think you want to take revenge on me with this method? You look at me too much. I sneered. Of course, he knew that he was clever in laundering money. Even if the Procuratorate took him back without evidence, it would not help. But who said that I was the only one who wanted to take revenge on him? She doesn't have enough evidence. I still have it here. Hansu said, took out her mobile phone in a hurry and said slowly, I have your money laundering fixed account and bank account here, as well as the contact information of those people. She turned her head and said to the prosecutor, this evidence is true or not. Take it back and check it out. The bullet screen has been brushed. What's going on? Is Hansu pointing out Lu Jun's crime now? Wait, this relationship is a little messy. Aren't the two of them a couple? My focus is money laundering? This is the rule of law. So, are the two people in a fight now? Lu Jun's face suddenly turned pale. His body couldn't stop shaking because of panic. His lips trembled, and he couldn't say a word. He may have expected my revenge, but he never thought that the knife that stabbed his heart was stabbed by Hansu. My revelation only disfigurated him, and the evidence handed over by Hansu would make him wear it. He didn't expect us to be so cruel. He said tremblingly, when did it start? Starting from the last time you bought my hot search. Hansu said with an expressionless face, since everyone can be the one around you who gives up at will, you should also be prepared to be abandoned. People like you are actually the most selfish, because you don't love anyone. What's wrong with sacrificing myself as my boyfriend? Now it's your turn to be the number one on the scandal. The bullet screen was full of shouts. Sisters are unique and beautiful. Is this the former and the current partner to clean up the scumbag? Lu Jun's mental defense was broken. He should have liked Hansu a little, but he loved himself the most. Once he has better interests, he will immediately abandon existing people and choose new ones. His face was decadent, and his sharp big back was greasy on his face at this moment. His forehead was in cold sweat, his eyes were covered with red blood, his shoulders couldn't stop shaking, and his whole body was extremely embarrassed. A moment later he roared and pounced on Hansu. The 7788 prosecutor in the venue immediately rushed over and held him down. Subsequently, Lu Jun was taken away. Unexpectedly, he was convicted of money laundering and had to spend the rest of his life in prison. The award ceremony of this live broadcast has attracted enough attention, and the hot search about Lu Jun has lasted for a long time. 12. I came to the backstage corridor alone after the award ceremony, the sound of wearing high heels behind. Thank you. I opened my mouth calmly. Hansu roughed the hair in her ear and said awkwardly, It's not. I can't thank you for helping you, I just can't get used to him spoiling other people's feelings at will. A scumbag. Then she seemed to think of something and said, Next time you choose a man, be more accurate. Don't look at the wrong person like last time. I replied jokingly, You'll come again after choosing? Bullshit, it's not that there are no men. Men are like subways coming and going every 5 minutes. There are many in the world. Hansu said and walked to me. So don't accompany a man in a low period. He feels that he is just making do and has no choice. When he has power, he will choose. This time it's a disaster for you. Thank you. I replied in a low voice. It's really time to thank her for letting me completely get out of this 7-year relationship. Some people just don't love you and still hang you. Thinking like this, I turned to the exit and left. But I met Park Fong at the exit. He put his hand on my shoulder. Congratulations, new movie queen. Do you want to have a good harvest in career and love today? I looked up into his eyes and said firmly, I don't want to. Park Fong has just won the movie Emperor, the most popular actor award and the best artist award at the award ceremony. He is in the same. Why? Park Fong touched his nose and looked at me with burning eyes. I said, You are excellent, but now I want to pursue my own light. I don't have time. After saying that, I turned around and left. I had to read the new script and work. In this way, I want to say goodbye to the past, and I want to start a new life.